Hello everybody and welcome back, and here we are back in Thunderdelve. Now Carrick did rescue his sister Grona. She didn't find the Hammer of Vitroan, so Carrick has come back to look for it, and he will go deeper into the fortress. I did play for about 2 minutes before I realised I didn't actually hit the record button. So Carrick, as he's going to go deeper into the place, he doesn't want anything to jump at him from behind, so he will explore some doors and avenues that he has already revealed, and one of them was this door here, which opened into this cave system here. And according to this, there are some goblins inside. We have been told, because he killed the bandit leader Redface, that any references to goblins, wolves and bandits can be ignored. Right, so he finds this cave empty. But it does say here, he stalks into the goblin's den. The cave is full of rubbish, skulls, furs and totems. He can roll for treasure 5 times. If the result is a special treasure, then add it to your equipment and roll again. If the result is coins, multiply the value by 10 and stop rolling. So let's roll for treasure 5 times. And he gets 10, which is 11 to 20 silver pieces. Not the greatest. So that's 18 times 10 is 180 silver pieces. So we stop rolling. We can assume the goblins left in a panic and didn't take everything with them. Now this is a hatch here that looked into another room that had a load of bandits playing dice. He couldn't actually get through the hatch. So he will go back to this room here, which is 82. And we're told he can go through the eastern door, read 91, and he enters into this little cave bit here, and it seems to be a bend. I'll draw it first. Around the bend in the hallway, you see a fat, shaggy-haired jailer taunting an ogre that is kept behind bars in the room beyond. The jailer must be old Modern. He's holding a plate of food, coaxing the ogre to take it. In his other hand, he holds out an iron rod. Okay, again, this Modern is a bandit, so we can ignore this. We can either search the room or else leave. So we will search the room. We find a table with a drawer in it, and there doesn't seem to be much of use. Socks, a tin cup, a broken dagger, and ancient invoices. If G is crossed off your event record, go to 85. G is crossed off our event record. There is nothing else to see, so we can exit and go further east. Go to 99. Well, it appears as we go further into this little cave system here, there is a set of iron bars at the end. Carrick creeps up to them. A huge hairy hand suddenly shoots out from between them, almost catching hold of his collar. We can use Modern's keys, which we got on previous time, to unlock the cell and fight the ogre, or else we can return to the hall. Okay, I think we're going to have to fight this ogre. This ogre is called Trudy, and she doesn't seem to want to negotiate. There doesn't seem to be an option to negotiate, but there are, as always, options if either side rolls a natural 20. Okay, as always, the enemies get initiative. Trudy is a 4+1 hit dice monster. She can hit Carrick on a 16, and she does 1d6 plus 2 damage. Sorry Trudy, your days are numbered. Oh, and well, she hits Carrick. Carrick is back up to full health as he rested up in the company of his sister Grona, who is a cleric dwarf, which is a special kind of cleric. If you read the Gazetteer, The Dwarves of Rockholm, you will find there are other character classes in these Gazetteers. An elf is naturally a fighter mage. There can be a version of a dwarf which is a fighter cleric, though they don't have any ability to turn the undead, and their experience progression is quite steep. In fact, I think it's a bit too steep. It should take less XP to level up. There is a version for halflings, which sadly is not a fighter thief. They missed a trick there, I think. But anyway, back to this fight. She whacks a massive 8 points off Carrick. He's down to 30. Well, I don't like that, you hairy beast. I have the keys to set you free. I don't think the ogre speaks common. Well, yes, and Carrick shows her who's boss with a massive 12 points. She's down to 12. Round number 2. She misses. Does Carrick hit armor class 5? No, he misses. Round 3. Trudy misses. And Carrick hits for 7 points. She's down to 5. Round number 4. This ogre lets up a big wail of frustration. And she hits again for another 4 points. Carrick's down to 26. Let's finish this off, Carrick. And he just hits and does enough to kill the ogre. That's another kill off our victory record. And what happens when we defeat Trudy? Okay, now sadly it says here, if you defeat Trudy the ogre, go to 93, and then in 93 it gives us an option, and then we have to fight the jailer who we may have killed. So the jailer is not there because of the bandits have left. We're back on to 98. Okay, we can search Trudy's filthy cell. We might as well do that. And we're given this little bit of map to draw. Have I made a mistake here? Right, because mine looks like this. And there's a secret door at the bottom. Right, Carrick wastes no time sorting through the rags and muck. His ring indicates there's a small secret door halfway up the northern wall. It is carved in the shape of a hen sitting on her eggs. There's no latch to open the door and you have no way to cut the stone. If E is crossed off your event record, go to 102. I think this is to do with the iron egg that we found a couple of sessions ago. And indeed, Carrick can see there is an empty hollow, the size and shape of the iron egg that he found. So he puts it into the hollow and his fingers tingle slightly from magic. And a door swings open silently, revealing forgotten dwarven treasures. Inside are a lady's silver bracelet worth 500 gold pieces, a necklace worth 1,200 gold pieces, both are set with pearls. There is also a gold diadem set with rubies for 1,650 gold pieces, 3 garnets, 75 each, and 3 phials. 2 of the phial seals are decayed and the contents are dehydrated, but the 3rd phial contains a murky liquid. Will he take it? Yes, he will. Right, so if he takes the phial, he reads 103, and he takes a sip and he immediately heals 1 point of damage. He's up to 27, and this is a potion of healing that does the usual 1d6 plus 1, but it has 2 doses in it. Okay, so after this, he returns to the main hall, which is here, and I think he will check out that secret door there. There's a door here, there are 2 stairs here, and another door here. So there's lots to explore before we go further into Thunderdelve. Now Carrick is exploring this door here, and he finds it opens into a long corridor like this, and I have clearly made a mistake because this side door here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 8 squares north of this door, and in my drawing it's only 7. I think I made this corridor too short. We'll have to figure out that one later. But what I can do is I can try and make these doors in relation to this door work in relation to this door. So if I draw this corridor and I draw this little northern door, and instead of a gap of 2, I can have a gap of 1. He has got several doors to check, and if he checks the western door, it's most likely to join up into this room here. Indeed it does. And that's where he finds lots of discarded dice and upended tables and chairs where there was a load of bandits gambling and they seem to have fled. So he can either go north or he has got 2 doors east. Right, this northern door seems to be polished. Right, why would that be? Okay, well he can go into the northern door. So he will enter into this room here, and it looks like this. I might have a problem here. As he enters into this room, he notices the northern half of the room is immaculate, decorated with fine silk and tasteful art. The southern half of the room is a shamble of ruined furniture and dusty rags. Suddenly, one of the dirty rags rears up on its hind legs. It's a black bear, and we have another event record to check off, and we do not have that one checked off. He can either back out of the room or he can fight. Okay, now there are two options to back out of the room. One is to go back into the corridor, or one is to go this way. We shall leave the bear at the minute, and I will fill in some numbers. So this is 148, this is 149. I shall draw a little bear. Right, looks nothing like a bear. Hopefully you can't see it on camera. So he can choose two of these eastern doors, or he can go back further south and try one of these doors here. I don't think he wants to weave backwards and forwards too much, so we shall try one of these eastern doors, and it will either be the northeast or the southeast. I shall roll 2 dice, whichever scores highest. Orange is north. And he will try this door here. That takes us to 166, which is a small room like this. A door here. Okay. I might have to erase some of this map and redraw it if all of this becomes a problem. Okay, so he opens this door here, and inside is a dimly lit room of tapestries, elegant couches, and thick rugs. There seems to be a theme in this area of finery. Suddenly, out of the dark northern corner, a spear flies out at your chest. Roll to see if this hits using first level fighter columns. If it hits, it does 1d6. Well, let's see if it hits. And it fails to hit. Right, if he survives, go to 167. We shouldn't have rolled for it because the fighter is a bandit guard, and we have been told all the bandits have left this place. Okay, let's see where we go next after this. Well, I can't believe this, or maybe I can believe it, but I just recorded about 10 minutes of footage only to discover that my microphone wasn't on. So in brief, Carrick explored a couple of rooms which are attached to 166 and the corridor 185, 148. Just north of 166 was a very small bedchamber, and there was an urchin hiding there and a chest that seemed to be opulent. He had to make a wisdom roll as a version of searching for traps. He made the roll easily. He just rolled a 7 and his wisdom is 11. And he avoided a 20-foot pit trap with spikes at the bottom. Inside the chest was not quite a king's ransom. It is described as an earl's ransom. And I shall read that out quickly. There are 3 bags of assorted gems worth 2,000 gold pieces, an emerald necklace worth 2,500, 2 armbands worth 250 each, 500 silver pieces and 450 gold pieces. And as I have said, I'm using a coin to weight ratio of 10 to 1, so those 450 gold pieces would weigh 45 coins. You also find a ring, and the ring is shaped like a wolf's head. The urchin, or the page boy, tells you Redface, who we killed, will be angry if we take that. It's the mate to his own ring that he uses to train his wolves. We didn't find that ring on him, or else I missed that bit. And we're given the opportunity to wear the armbands and mark JJ off your event record. So Carrick will wear the armbands. He won't wear the ring, as he already has 2 rings, and it looks like the wolves have been chased out of this place. He examined room 185, and it would have contained a lot of bandits larking around. That room is empty, and they have taken all their gold with them. So he went back to the main corridor near the entrance, walked south to room 190, where there is the big pit with the crevasse, and examined the room with the golden door, that's room 200, and it seems to have another pit going across the middle. It is possible to cross this one if a character is nimble and they can sort of use handholds in the wall to get over the pit and to get access to the other door. He did not do that. He wants to do all the sort of sensible bits before he starts trying to clamber over pits and things like that. I'm assuming it will require a dexterity check, and his dexterity is quite good, but he still is avoiding it. And he is back in the main hall where the waterfalls are, and there's a room to the south, and that's where we will leave him until next time. So whilst Carrick is still in Thunderdelve, Donard, Sylvia and Malin are making their way to Castle Mistamere. They have in tow a temporary thief called Flynn. He is probably one of the more capable junior thieves in Threshold. He still is not in their upper echelons. He does not rank high. He is level 6 and he has 22 hit points. That is actually bang on average because he has a +1 constitution bonus. His strength, intelligence and wisdom are nothing special. +1 dexterity will help, and +1 charisma probably won't be of any use in this adventure, since Donard will be keeping him well to the back. He has earned his levels largely through petty pilfering or taking small time assignments in and around Threshold and Kelvin and other local places. Sometimes he just runs errands or plants evidence to frame somebody. But over time he has clearly earned enough cash to level up. He hasn't been dungeon delving, so he really hasn't accumulated much in the way of magic items. I did roll for 3 and he got a sword +1, so that's a short sword, a scroll of protection from elements, okay, and a potion of ESP. I don't think those two will be of much use here. I think a scroll of protection from elements is new to us. Right, a scroll of protection from elements must be part of the expert book. I didn't see it there in the red book. So let's try again. Protection from elements. This scroll creates a circle of protection 10 feet in radius around the reader. No elemental can attack those within the circle unless attacked first in hand-to-hand combat, so ranged combat can work. Once attacked, an element may attack in return. The effect will last for 2 turns and moves with the reader. Now that is different from what I thought it would be. I thought the elements were earth, air, fire and water, and this protected you from elements. It's actually protection from elementals. Right, it would help if I read it right. Okay. He has standard leather armor and a short bow, so he doesn't have anything that increases his hiding shadows or opening locks or finding traps, so it's back to having a lower level thief again. This should be interesting. The party make their way to Castle Mistamere, and if you remember from the red box set, it's described as being 3 miles away from Threshold, and the journey starts off going through farmers' fields, and then obviously the land will become more barren as it becomes more rocky and the soil thins and isn't really good for trees or anything other than grass and small bushes. Castle Mistamere is set against a cliff, which I should imagine may have been a bit of land which has jutted upwards during some sort of earthquake. And this is the first lair there, and outside they find the kobolds again. I'm not going to make a thing of the first 2 levels again. We have played those, but if you can imagine, some low-level vermin have made this their home in a rather opportunistic way when the original kobolds left. And that's much the same for the first level. As for the second level, we're going to go down these stairs again, and we will go down to the 3rd level, which looks like this. Even though the party played through the first 3 rooms, I'm going to do those again, as though we're starting from scratch. Okay, so let's see how they get on. The party are going to creep downstairs Donard gives Flynn a gentle shove forward and says, "This is up to you." And so I shall roll for Flynn's hide in shadows at 35. And that's 50. Donard says, "We can still see you. Try again." That's a 42. And Donard says, "One last time." And he throws a 91. Clearly the cleric is unsettling this poor thief. For some reason he's rubbed Donard up the wrong way. Why could that be? We don't know. But Flynn clearly doesn't think much of Donard and thinks, what have I signed up for? Is this going to be like this the whole dungeon? Well, indeed it might be. Donard just says, "I'll go first." He takes the lead and he goes downstairs. Sylvia is behind him with her sword and shield. And they come across a solitary ogre. Let's roll for surprise. Haven't done this in ages. Okay. And the party gets surprise. Right, so I'm afraid this ogre, who has an armor class of 5, is going to get hit by both Sylvia and Donard. I'll do Donard first, who easily hits and does 5 points. The ogre is down from 19 to 14. Sylvia has a go. We don't really see her with the sword and shield, but she did pick up some very good elven chainmail and a very good shield on the Isle of Dread, so... And she hits really well, and she does 6 plus 2 is 8, and this ogre is down to 6. I think I'll give Flynn a shot at short range. And he hits, and he does 2 damage. The ogre is down to 4. This ogre will call out to his friends in room 75. His cry will be one of pain. He's been hit 3 times, and he is nearly dead. Okay. Now those ogres don't come charging down the corridor, but they do get out of bed, and they are waiting for intruders. So it's the ogre's go, and he will either choose Sylvia or Donard, whoever rolls the lowest. And he chooses Donard, who's tough, but let's see what this ogre can do. He does d6 plus 2. And he hits, and he does 3 points of damage off Donard, and he is down to 48. Round number 2. We get initiative. Donard hits and kills that ogre. Okay. And Flynn comes down the stairs, rubbing his scalp with an eyebrow raised. He says, "You guys are good." Firstly, he's being honest compared to what he's used to, and he is trying to ingratiate himself with Donard. Donard's only response is to indicate to this door and tell Flynn to put his ear against it. Flynn doesn't hear anything, so they will go through. Another thing that impresses Flynn is that Malon's lantern is lit by a gem, and by this stage the whole party have their own. Carrick will be creeping through Thunderdelve with his light gem, so as Malon holds his lantern aloft in this dark corridor, they creep forward slightly and they see a door to the right. And further on ahead they see an opening. A dark opening is always ominous. And they don't remember from last time, but they did open it first. So Donard is going to give Flynn another chance to creep ahead. He is being gracious enough to tell him if it isn't working. And nope, so Donard calls him back and says, "We can see you." Right, I have completely forgotten my usual routine. I normally have a board with the party's spells written on it, and I don't. I think they're going to save their spells for when they get further in, and that's also a good excuse for me to get my act together for next time. But Donard and Sylvia go first, with Donard slightly further ahead. The ogres here cannot be surprised, but do they get surprise? They don't. So as we round the corner, we see 3 ogres, right? 2 here and 1 here. And they each have 19 hit points. Let's roll for initiative. They get initiative. Right. There's going to be 1 ogre on each of Sylvia and Donard. I shall do the one that's on Sylvia. Oh boy, it hits her for 5. Now, despite having her good armor class, she still only has 25 hit points. Alright, the one on Donard misses him, and the third one is going to go round the back, and he makes it to about here. Okay, so it's Donard to attack the ogre on him. Does he hit armor class 5? Yes, he does. His melee Thaco is 12, so he just needs a 7 to hit, and he does 10 points. That's quite credible. That ogre is on 9. Sylvia. She misses. Right, okay. Oh dear. Oh, it's like the good old days. So it's round number 2. We get initiative. Now that's good because Flynn and Malin see the ogre running down towards them. This gives Flynn a chance to shoot. Ah, excellent. He's only just joined the party. This is his second shot, and nice one. That ogre is down to 13. Malin is going to fire off a magic missile. And that's reasonably good. That's 8. 11 plus 3 is 14. Just enough to kill that ogre. So one ogre is dead. Donard hits and does 9 points. That's enough to kill the ogre on him. Sylvia hits and does 4 damage. The ogre on her is down to 15. Right, he's the only one standing. We shall do a morale check. Again, a thing I haven't done for a long time. And their morale is 10. And his morale holds up. So he has another swipe at Sylvia. He misses badly, clearly upset, and that brings us to round number 3. Also, he seems to be frenzied in his distress because no sooner does he swipe Sylvia than he swipes back again. And misses badly again. Donard has a go at him. Hits and does 7. The ogre is down to 8. Sylvia hits, does nicely, it's down to 3. Flynn can see round the corner and he is going to shoot again. And look at that, 5 points, 3 dead ogres. When they gather together and get their breath back, Malin will compliment Flynn on 2 good shots, and Donard will give a begrudging, okay, good, you're earning your money. Okay, they search the ogres and they find 5 gold pieces on each and an amulet marked with a B. B for Bargle, seems obvious. And I think then they're going to try this door here. Donard just indicates with his hand for Flynn to listen. And what does Flynn hear? He hears the rather large snoring of an ogre. Okay, so it's a chance to go in here and try and attack an ogre while asleep. They will take that chance. So without hesitation, Donard will open the door quietly and then stride over and attack the ogre. Unfortunately, the ogre is not asleep because of the alarm being raised. He is only pretending to be asleep, and he springs up and joins the fight. It would be a bit much to say that he gets initiative, but there will be a roll for initiative. And the party get it. It's a bit confined at the minute, so there won't be room for any missile attacks. So I shall do Donard on this ogre. He hits nicely and does 6 points. The ogre is on 13. Sylvia hits very well. The ogre is on 5. That is the party's round over. The ogre can choose an attack, or else he can roll for a morale check. And his morale holds up. So does he target Sylvia or Donard? And he targets Sylvia. Right, what is his Thaco? He's a 4+1 monster. He needs a 17 to hit Sylvia and Donard, so he misses. Round number 2. We get initiative again, and this ogre only has 5 hit points left, so if Donard hits, he kills it. His melee Thaco is 12. He just hits and takes that warhammer of his and completely smashes in the ogre's skull. Flynn says he's going to search the room for traps. Well, search the bed. His find traps is 40. He doesn't find any, but he does find a bag of 400 gold pieces, which he puts into his backpack. Of course, that has been noted by everybody, and I will leave the party here. Okay. We know Liz is making her way back to Threshold. We know Carrick is getting deeper into Thunderdelve, and the party have started Castle Mistamere. Alright, so let's see how it all develops next time, and I'll see you then.